The moment you stop absorbing everyone else's pain is the moment you discover who you actually are. For years, you believed your sensitivity was your weakness, that feeling everything so deeply made you fragile, broken, somehow less equipped for this world. You wore yourself out trying to fix people who didn't ask to be fixed, dimming your own light so others wouldn't feel overshadowed, apologizing for your existence while simultaneously holding space for everyone around you.
But something shifted. Maybe it was the 100th time someone drained you dry and walked away without a second thought. Maybe it was the quiet morning you woke up and realized you'd lost yourself completely in the chaos of other people's emotions. Whatever the catalyst, you began the hardest journey of your life, healing yourself. And what emerged on the other side? Someone you never expected to become.
A healed empath doesn't lose their gift of deep feeling. That's the beautiful paradox nobody tells you about. You don't become cold or disconnected or numb to the world's suffering. Instead, you develop something far more powerful, discernment. You learn the profound difference between compassion and compliance, between supporting someone and sacrificing yourself, between being kind and being available for exploitation.
Your empathy transforms from an open wound that anyone can pour salt into to a conscious choice, a gift you offer intentionally rather than a vulnerability others can weaponize against you.
The first thing people notice about a healed empath is the boundary work. Where you once said yes to everything, stretching yourself impossibly thin, you now understand that no is a complete sentence. You've stopped explaining, justifying, and defending your limitations. You no longer feel guilty for having needs, for requiring rest, for choosing not to engage with energy vampires who see your compassion as an all-you-can-eat buffet. These boundaries aren't walls built from bitterness.
They're gardens you've cultivated around your energy, beautiful spaces where only those who genuinely respect and reciprocate your care are invited to enter. You've learned that protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's sacred.
Your relationship with your own emotions has completely transformed. Before healing, you were so focused on everyone else's feelings that you couldn't identify your own. Anger, sadness, joy, fear, all blurred together into an overwhelming static of sensation. You absorbed the room's emotional temperature and mistook it for your internal weather. Now you've developed emotional literacy. You can sit with your feelings without drowning in them.
You can feel angry without becoming rage, sad without becoming depression, anxious without becoming panic. You've discovered that emotions are messengers, not masters, and you've learned to listen to what they're telling you about your needs, your boundaries, your truth.
A healed empath stops trying to save people who are committed to their own destruction. This might be the hardest lesson of all. You finally understand that you cannot love someone into healing, cannot care someone into changing, cannot sacrifice enough of yourself to fill the void in another person's soul. You've released the savior complex that had you believing your love was powerful enough to override someone else's free will.
You've grieved the fantasy of fixing your family, rescuing that friend, or being enough for that partner who kept choosing everything except growth. And in that grief, you found liberation. You learned that the most loving thing you can do is sometimes to step back and let people face the consequences of their own choices.
The energy is different now. People who knew you before your healing might feel uncomfortable around the new you. The ones who benefited from your lack of boundaries, who fed off your tendency to overgive, who relied on your inability to say no, they'll call you changed. They'll say you're not the same person, and they'll be right. You're not.
You're no longer available for one-sided relationships. You don't chase people who walk away. You don't convince anyone of your worth. You don't explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. And yes, this means some people will leave. Let them. Every exit creates space for someone better aligned with who you're becoming.
Your intuition has sharpened into something nearly supernatural. Before healing, your intuition was drowned out by the noise of other people's needs and opinions. You second-guessed yourself constantly, trusting everyone's judgment except your own. Now, you've learned to trust that inner knowing, that gut feeling that has never steered you wrong when you've actually listened to it. You recognize red flags immediately instead of explaining them away.
You sense dishonesty even when words sound convincing. You feel when something is off, and you honor that feeling instead of overriding it with logic or hope or the desperate desire to see the best in people who are showing you exactly who they are. A healed empath has learned the art of energetic sovereignty. You understand now that you don't have to match the energy of every room you enter. You can be calm in chaos, peaceful among panic, grounded when everyone around you is spiraling. You've stopped taking on other people's stress as if it's your responsibility to regulate their nervous systems. You've discovered that you can care about someone's struggle without carrying it, that you can witness someone's pain without absorbing it, that you can offer support without depleting yourself. This energetic independence is what allows you to be truly helpful instead of just mutually drowning. Your standards have become uncompromising, and there's nothing arrogant about that. You know your value now. You understand that your depth, your loyalty, your capacity to love deeply, these aren't qualities everyone deserves access to. You've stopped auditioning for people's approval, stopped performing empathy for those who mistake your kindness for weakness. You surround yourself with people who celebrate your sensitivity instead of exploiting it, who reciprocate your care instead of depleting it, who see your empathy as the strength it is instead of an opportunity for manipulation. Perhaps most importantly, a healed empath has learned to direct that powerful empathy inward. For so long, you gave to everyone except yourself. You had infinite compassion for others and nothing but criticism for your own struggles. You forgave everyone's mistakes while punishing yourself endlessly for being human. Now, you speak to yourself with the same gentleness you offer others. You give yourself the benefit of the doubt. You acknowledge your own pain as valid, your own needs as important, your own growth as worthy of the same energy you once poured exclusively into other people. This self-empathy isn't selfishness. It's the foundation that allows you to genuinely help others without destroying yourself in the process. The healed empath you've become is powerful in ways that have nothing to do with dominance and everything to do with presence. You show up as yourself, fully and unapologetically. You're no longer performing, hiding, or shrinking. You've integrated your sensitivity with strength, your compassion with boundaries, your openness with wisdom. You've become someone who can hold space for others without losing yourself, who can love deeply without self-abandonment, who can feel everything and still remain standing. So here's what nobody tells you about healing as an empath. You don't become less sensitive, you become more selective. You don't feel less, you feel more accurately. You don't care less, you care more wisely. The gift remains, the depth stays. What changes is that you finally understand this extraordinary capacity to feel wasn't meant to drain you. It was meant to guide you toward people, places, and purposes worthy of the incredible heart you carry. And now that you've learned to protect it, honor it, and share it intentionally, you're not just surviving your sensitivity anymore, you're thriving because of it. That's the truth about who a healed empath becomes, the most authentic, powerful version of themselves they were always meant to be.